Reading for January 10th, Science of Mind, A Philosophy of Faith, A Way of Life by Ernest Holmes. Reading from page 68, paragraph 3 through page 70, paragraph 2, using inclusive language.
The voice of God in creation. The argument has been made something after this manner. The ultimate cause back of all things must be one, since life cannot be divided against itself. The infinite must be one, for there could not be two infinite beings. Whatever change takes place must take place within this one, but this one must be changeless. For being one and only one, it cannot change into anything but itself. All seeming change is merely the play of life upon itself, and all that happens must happen by and through some interaction upon itself. What would be the nature of this interaction? It could not be physical, as we understand physics, but would have to be by the power of some inner movement of life, i.e., the voice of God, God standing for the first great and only cause of all that is. The thought of God, the Word of God. The Word of God means the power of Spirit to declare itself into manifestation, into form. The Word of God means the self-contemplation of Spirit. The manifest universe as we see it, as well as the invisible universe, which must also exist, is the result of the self-contemplation of God. It spake, and it was done. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. All things that were made by it, and without it was not anything made that was made. The starting point of all creation is the Word of Spirit. The Word is the concept, idea, image, or thought of God. It is the self-knowing mind speaking itself into manifestation. The word back of everything is its initial cause. The term thought seems to mean more to us than any other term in this connection. It seems to cover the meaning better, for we know that thought is an inner process of consciousness. The thought of God must be the cause of all that really exists. And as there are many existing things, there must be many thoughts in the mind of the infinite. This is logical to suppose, for an infinite mind would necessarily conceive an infinite variety of ideas. Hence, the world of multiplicity or many things. But the world of multiplicity does not contradict the world of unity, for the many live in the one. This concept of unity is the mystical secret of the ages, the key to spiritual wisdom and to the teaching of Jesus. Spirit knows itself. It is impossible to conceive of anything other than the Word of God being that which sets power in motion. God speaks, and it is done. It is evident that first cause must be self-existent. It must be causeless. Nothing could come before that which was first. Hence, the being whom we call God must be self-existent. God speaks, and it is done. If God speaks, its word must be law. The word of God is also the law of God. God is word, God is law, God is spirit. This is self-evident. We arrive at the conclusion that God is spirit in conscious life. This is the inner meaning of the teaching of the I am. Volition. There is but one volitional force in the universe, and this is spirit, or the self-knowing mind. God did not make God. This is self-evident. God did not make law. Law is co-eternal with God. God did not make substance. This is also coexistent and co-eternal with God. But God did make and does make and is making and will continue to make from eternity to eternity forms. We live in a universe of infinite substance and numberless forms, wherein nothing is moved unless intelligence moves it, in accordance with law. It follows that everything that spirit thinks must take form. The spirit, being self-conscious life, knows and cannot stop knowing. To suppose that it could stop knowing would be to suppose that it could stop being. Since it cannot stop knowing, it must forever be setting in motion the law of its being, which law must forever be projecting the form of its thoughts, thereby producing things. Creation is always beginning but never ending. The slightest thought of intelligence sets power in motion through the law, producing a corresponding thing. Things may come and things may go, but creation goes on forever. This is indeed a wonderful concept, for it means that there will always be a manifestation of divine ideas. They cannot cease so long as God exists, and since God will forever be, there will forever be some kind of manifestation. The invisible will always be made manifest on some plane.